Formerly suicidal redditors. What's something that kept you alive a little while longer and helped you to get through the dark times in your lives? If you ever need help, then please know that there are many qualified people who would like to help you. https www.iasp.info/resources/crisis_centers http www.befrienders.org http www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org gethelp/lifelinechat.aspx https://translifeline.org USNCA http www.samaritans.org/how-we-can-help-you UK https www.lifeline.org.au/get-help/. Oh, there are crisis services worldwide that are trained to provide support. They are designed to give temporary relief from feelings that are overwhelming you, and while they are unlikely to fix any underlying problems, can help you get through a tough hour night per week. Chat services are usually available on these sites. In the U.S., calling 211 or going to their website is a free referral source. They have providers who will see you regardless of your ability to pay. Just as you would see a doctor when you are sick, you deserve to take care of your mental health. I called someone I barely knew a couple of days before I planned it to basically unload what I couldn't say to those closest to me. It sounds backwards, I know, but I wasn't really thinking straight back then. I don't think they understood the reason to the call back as we shifted to talking about roommates. And I had a good laugh for the first time in a while. I decided after we hung up that if a stranger could make me smile, that I wanted to try to meet those who could make me happier and hopefully be that person for someone else. A year later, and I can happily say I'm better and enjoying life. I found that the only real person though that can make me happy was myself. I just needed to give him a chance. That person that I originally called, I am still in contact with them but haven't told them how much they helped me that day yet, mostly out of being nervous, lol. I hope to repay them though with never leaving their side, because they came to mine without even realizing it, and I am forever grateful. My advice to anyone making this far, my response lol, is it doesn't cost you anything to listen and be nice. Someday you may help someone more than you will ever realize. The few friends who still stayed in contact with me, they were the small glimmer of light who kept me in this world. My cat found me in the bush in the back of my house at 3 a.m. and wouldn't leave me alone. She headbutted me and rubbed into my legs as I stood there with a knife trying to get her to away. Had her for 20 years until she passed 2 years ago. Something about her that night broke me out of the crushing darkness momentarily and allowed me to get therapy to deal with the problems. Love you, kiss. I was suicidal and taking Xanax, but I took too much on accident. I could feel a weight on my chest type of feeling. I was scared shitless from it. The day after, when I finally felt like I was able to do something, I adopted a puppy. She's been my reason to get up in the morning for over a year. Deleted. My 9-year-old daughter. About 18 mths ago I was in a very bad place, but I am a single dad and I would not do anything to hurt my daughter. My cat helped me to keep going. Unfortunately, she passed away, but I keep going with her in mind. What has helped me is to keep my mind busy at all times. I work on my YouTube videos or paint a lot. It keeps me focused on just that. I'm still depressed and suicidal, but haven't had an episode, as I call them, for some months now. Except some days. The guilt if I failed and everyone found out. Knowing that my mom wouldn't have someone to walk her down the aisle when she married my now step-father. My dad had died 3 years prior and I think it would have broken her completely. It'd be weird if I died and still had packages coming in the mail. So I try to keep something coming that I can look forward to. I finished a suicide note and folded it into my wallet on the bus ride back onto base after a weekend of binge drinking on the beach to avoid every person I could. When I got back to the barracks, I looked at my rackmate and told him exactly what I wrote down in that note, and instead of making things worse, he genuinely helped me and reminded me that not every Marine is meant to do a full tiramisu. Sometimes things just don't go as planned, and it's okay to take the DD-214 early, even if it will disappoint your family. We still talk around the holidays every year. Edit. Thank you for the award. I've never received one on Reddit to my knowledge. I would also like to add that if anybody reads this, and you feel somewhat lost while in the military, don't be afraid to go to medical and talk about it. It happens unfortunately often where speaking directly to your chain of command will not help. Things and word can travel fast, but there is absolutely nothing wrong in seeking help to allow yourself to be the best Marine, sailor, or whatever title you gave your all to achieve. It's just harder in some units compared to others. All that held me back was the feeling of guilt for how my family would feel. I couldn't do it to them, monsieur. The thought that any of my students might look at my decision and choose to follow in my footsteps. I could accept my own death, but I couldn't stand the idea of theirs. I remember reading somewhere where someone was suicidal in a forum, saying they were going later that day or something, and everyone was talking about it, and someone replied something along the lines of, "Why don't you just go?" I've always wondered this about people who are suicidal. If you're really done, then why don't you leave everything behind? Start walking in a direction and just go. It doesn't matter where you end up or if you get killed along the way, because that's what you were trying to do anyway. Something about that really resonated with me. Those of us with nothing to lose have everything to gain from this world. Stubbornness. When I was in middle and high school, the first time I was suicidal, I thought I wouldn't make it to 25. When I got out of that, I decided I was going to make it to 25. Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead. I'm 25 now, but I made it this far. If the mental illness wants me dead so badly it needs to shut down my organs and kill me its damn self, because I'm not going anywhere. Also, my pets. I don't want to be without my pets. They were the only things that made me happy. And even when I didn't feel like anyone else loved me, I knew they did. I can always kill myself, so why not keep pushing just another day? This should probably be tagged serious. I couldn't leave my dog. I was standing on a bridge over the Mississippi River in Minneapolis with the intention to jump. And I took about 5 minutes to look over the edge and decide whether to land on the water concrete slab 30 feet or so below. Then the thought crossed my mind to walk to the other side of the bridge and think about it on the way back. So I walked, then walked past where I was standing, and back to my car. When I got back into my car, I burst into tears. Ugly crying, screaming, hitting my steering wheel, the works. I was 3 steps from being dead. 1 onto the concrete, 1 over the rail, and the last off the edge. That was the lowest I had ever sunk. I think what kept me going was the thought of lost potential. I was working a monotonous job that didn't challenge me, had no friends, and had so much love to give to someone who I hadn't met yet. I didn't want to lose any of that, so I devoted my life moving forward to growth and challenging myself. Now, 2 years and 1 month later, I have my own house, a loving girlfriend, a fun and challenging job, and am in the best mental state of my life. I'm glad I didn't jump.